love and hair grease, y'all. Shotty Gemini returning once again. I just want to take time out to just tell everybody thank you for your support. Thank y'all all for contacting me for questions and readings and anything that y'all have, and I really appreciate that about y'all. But I wanted to just really get into it, okay? So I've been noticing like a lot of, especially the younger generation, have issues with relationships, and it's pretty obvious, you know what I'm saying? Well, to somebody like me. So this video is really about why your relationships or why relationships or young relationships aren't working out. So this plays into this. The reason for this is a variety of things, okay? First of all, the first reason is nobody is asking the real questions when dating, okay? Everybody's on a superficial level with dating. For example, you know, what do you like to do? Which are cool questions, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you like to do? What do you like to eat? What's your favorite food? What's your favorite color? You know what I'm saying? Just things like that. Maybe even favorite movies, okay? Obviously, I'm not saying those questions shouldn't be asked, okay? But nothing deeper is coming outside of those basic questions, okay? So, a lot of people are walking around this motherfucker dealing with unhealed trauma and shit that, you know, they daddy or they mom said to them when they were 6 years old, okay, that they're still carrying in their subconscious, okay, and then when you don't deal with those things, you're going to project those things onto the opposite sex or into your relationships, okay? So somebody being attractive isn't enough. Somebody being attractive isn't enough for you to want to date them, okay? The real reason, one of the reasons why, like I said, relationships aren't working out, nobody's asking the real questions, okay? And the real questions are, what was the relationship with your mother like? Is your father in your life? How was your grandmother? What kind of family do you come from? What are the things that you value? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Do you want children? How do you feel about children? What was your early childhood like? You know, did anything happen? Were you molested? Were you bullied? You know what I'm saying? Those are the real questions that need to be asked, okay? Because if you don't ask those questions, you know, you start to see that's when issues in relationships comes up. And a lot of our unhealed issues come out the most when we're either dealing with the opposite sex or just in relationships, period. Okay? Also, another key factor when it comes to dealing with relationships, kind of tied into my last point, but I'm going to reiterate it again, okay? It is important that you find out, if you're interested in somebody, how their relationship was with their parents. I cannot stress this enough. For example, men, if you're dating a woman, ask her what her relationship with her father was like, because how that relationship with her father transpired is how she relates to men socially. Therefore, that's going to be the determining factor how she treats you. Okay, so if she had an absent father, okay, naturally she's going to be clingy. She's going to be hella needy. She subconsciously is going to be looking for a father figure because she did not have that father figure within her life. Trust me, I was one of them girls, okay? But after my last relationship, I realized that I subconsciously knew that, and I realized that. So after my last relationship, that's when I started to rebuild the relationship with my father, so I can have that void filled instead of looking for other men to fill that void. Okay? That's like, really, I feel like that's the number one reason why relationships aren't working out. And then we have this norm that, you know, it's that women are going through, you know, their man's phone, or women are being hella possessive, or women are, you know, just really attaching themselves too much to their partner. Okay? That's not healthy behavior. If you have to go through your partner's phone And I was one of these people. So I understand the psychology, but once I did the proper work and the proper healing, that's when I started to move forward and started to realize certain things, okay? That type of behavior is not healthy, but everybody's making it like it's cute. It is not cute. It's destructive. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you shouldn't be in a relationship if you're arguing over a phone or social media about your partner liking somebody else's pictures. The problem isn't that person. The problem is you. Maybe not 100% you, but the way you react to certain things when it comes to relationships is you. Because the best kind of love is love without attachment. This does not mean don't give a fuck about your partner, but understand that your partner is their own person. You don't own anything but yourself and your own thoughts. Trying to act crazy or be crazy or trying to possess somebody, especially if you're young, because you got your whole fucking life ahead of you. Is 7 billion people in the world, and out of those 7 billion people, at least more than a fourth of those people you're compatible with, okay? So you're compatible. We can bring astrology into this as well. Like, you're compatible with more than just one person on the planet. That's fucking ridiculous. Like, it's 7 billion people on this planet. You're not just compatible with one person, okay? One person just doesn't feel, the one person just doesn't feel your emotional needs. There are other people out there who feed your emotional needs as well, okay? So really, that's really all it boils down to. Like, and a lot of people are complaining, oh, well, niggas do this and bitches do this, and everybody pointing a finger, but the real finger should be pointed on, is how is your past? Are you healed from your past? Have you moved forward from your past? Have you forgiven your mother? Have you forgiven your father? You know what I'm saying? Nobody's asking the real questions. Everybody thinks just because somebody's attractive and that we have sexual compatibility that we're going to be together forever. It doesn't work that way. Because when a person has those unhealed issues and you wondering, well, damn, why is she so possessive? I wasn't even doing that. I'm really just with my boy. She tripping. Ask her how her relationship with her parents were. She probably didn't have a father. Or another example, another example I noticed with men who don't have good relationships with their mother, they don't know how to treat women. They have terrible relationships with women. If they had like a broken or a distant, like I said, your moon and your birth chart determines how you view your mother, okay? And I know there's a lot of people who have afflictions to their moon and Saturn, because Saturn is the restrictor. Saturn is the karmic lessons, and Saturn is the things that kind of are subconscious fears that we don't know what it is. If you have an aspect to Saturn in your moon, which rules your mother and your feminine energy and your emotional responses in your earlier upbringing, that's an indicator of a strained relationship between you and your mother. Okay, so I notice a lot of people who have a hard aspect between their moon and their Saturn have a distant relationship with their mother. Even if she's not physically absent, she's absent either emotionally, she's probably absent emotionally. Okay, I've seen that manifest as well. So another reason why your relationships are working is because of your past sexual partners. Now, I'm talking about on a spiritual level, okay? If you haven't done the proper healing, I'm going to make a video on that, how to cleanse yourself of your sexual partners. If you haven't done the proper healing, right? Okay, let's say, you put your past behind you. You did have a lot of sex partners, or you still have your sexual energy of your ex, and then you trying to move forward in your life, but you realize you keep attracting the same type of men or the same type of women into your life, and it keeps going into a dead end. It's because sex is a ritual, okay? Sex is it's an exchange of spiritual energy, of soul energy, okay? And unless you don't cleanse yourself, and cleansing yourself, I mean just with sage, some meditation. There's many ways to cleanse yourself from sexual partners. Like I said, I'll do a video on that. But you still reek of your sexual partners. So that energy from your past, your exes, is still in your electromagnetic field. So when you go out to the world, when you want to meet somebody new, you still vibrate on the frequency of your ex. Therefore, you still attract the same people who have the same qualities as your ex. And then you're getting frustrated. Well, what the fuck? I keep attracting the same dudes. I keep attracting the same females. It's because you still sexually reek energy. You still sexually energetically reek of your ex. Okay? And you need to detox from that. I say that's like that's top 5 reasons why relationships aren't working. And this is why I do what I do, because when you go to psychologists and people try to have psychologists work out their problems, like, I don't know what's wrong. The number one thing psychologists do is they tie, what is psychology? Psychology is analyzing the subconscious mind through conscious patterns, okay? So when you're going through a shrink or a therapist or a psychologist and you paying all this money, just so eventually after the fucking 6th or 7th or 8th session they bring you back to your childhood, it's because your earlier upbringing sets the foundation of how you handle certain situations, especially relationships, okay? Because if you're the opposite gender, let me say this, okay? So if you are a man, okay, your mother is like your first girlfriend. Not in no Sigmund Freud sick ass shit, but symbolically she represents the first woman that you dealt with, okay? She lays the foundation of how you deal with women, okay? So if your mother was absent, okay, if your mother was absent, then you might not know how to treat women. You might be emotionally absent onto women, or you might not be emotionally provide women with some type of emotional security because you weren't provided with that emotional security when you were younger. This is the work. This is the subconscious work that it takes so that you may have everything that you desire. Because a lot of people, for some reason, I don't know why, just crave relationships like they're everything. I mean, they are everything. It is nice to have a partner, but a lot of people are really focused on relationships. Okay? And that's the key. Okay? So next time you're dating and you're out on a date, it's cool to be like, what's your favorite Netflix show? Oh, what's your favorite food? Oh, I like Chinese food too. Oh, he's very attractive or she's very attractive. It's time to get to the nitty gritty. Hey, are you healed of your past traumas? Were you molested when you were younger? Did your mother provide you with the proper nurturing? Because a lot of men do that too. A lot of men, they don't have the proper nurturing from their mother. They're going to, when they actually find a woman who has some type of emotional intelligence, they're going to subconsciously use that woman as like a therapist or as like somebody to work their feelings out with. I used to be that type of woman. When I first came into my healing and my spirituality, I would attract a lot of damaged and broken men. And if you're a healer, if you're a woman, you tend to notice that as well. Like, men attract to you like they're your fucking psychologist. And I used to do that, but I'm not doing that shit no more. That shit's draining. That shit would drain you, okay? So when dating, ask the proper questions, y'all. Finding somebody cute and just sexy, or y'all got sexual compatibility, that's nice. But you need something deeper. You need to find out what their earlier life was like. Because any unhealed issues, they're going to bring them into your relationship. Don't matter. If you had an abusive parent, if a woman has a abusive father, she's going to like aggressive men, overly aggressive men. And eventually those overly aggressive men become her new abuser. because she sees, because that's all she knows. That's all. If she doesn't do the proper healing, that's all she knows. That's all she thinks is normal. That's all she thinks that she's deserving of. You know, if you've been molested, you know, you might be sexually, as a woman, mistrust, or even with men, you might be sexually mistrusting with people. You might be suspicious all the time. You know, you might be paranoid all the time. Who is he with? You know what I'm saying? So you got to watch out for these subconscious patterns. That's why relationships aren't working, because people are not doing the proper mental work or the mental healing within themselves. You can't just polish, or you can't just move on without reassessing the past. Reassess your past patterns. And that comes with self-accountability. A lot of people don't like taking self-accountability. And then they have to complain, oh, woe is me. Oh, well, no. Do the work. Stop being lazy. You have to be, when reflecting, you have to be completely honest with yourself. What am I doing? This relationship didn't work out. What part did I play? That's what happened in my last relationship. I know I fucked up. So I can't be like, you know, oh, I'm gonna be forever alone. I'm not about to have a pity party. I take responsibility in the part that I played. And I now came to peace knowing that I contributed to my last relationship not working out. And I was a different person then, so I forgive myself. Okay, but at least I'm able to recognize who I was in the past, what I did in the past, and now I've done the proper correction. I've done the proper healing. I've healed my relationship with my father. Now, whenever divine timing lines up, when it's ready for me to get into another relationship, those old issues I've shed, and they are in my past now, and they are now lessons. Okay. So if you're hurting, you shouldn't be jumping into a next relationship. You should be healing. Because if you're not healed from your past traumas or your past hurts, you're going to have the death touch. Everything that you touch turns into death and turns into shit. And it takes discipline. And it takes discipline and self-accountability. Self-analyzing yourself honestly. Not what you want to see. Not letting that ego get in the way. It is hard, but if you have the desire to do it, you'll do it. If not, then you'll continue to track the same bullshit over and over again, going in the same limbo. And if you like that type of stagnation, then you're just not going to have, you'll be 40, 50 years old, single. I know a couple people like that. And that's not the life I'm trying to live. So, with that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Contact me for any birth chart reading, natal chart readings, any tarot readings. In my email, I will list all my contact information below, including my social media. I love y'all. Make sure y'all ask the proper questions. You have the power to change your life. But you have to do the work. You have to do the healing in order to get the blessings that are meant for you. That's what Scorpio is about. Scorpio is about healing and transforming your past hurts and turning them into power. So instead of just having a pity party, you let your traumas empower you. That's the key. So with that being said, I love y'all. Bye.